The value of scoring first.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. I made my bed, and now I got to lie in it. So this one is for you, Paul. We did have 215 boys. I give a shout out. Great game, guys. But this one's for you guys. How about them Cowboys?
And that's very enthusiastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good. Good job, Evan. You could be an actor.
If you can excuse me, I'm going to go hang myself now. Well, all right, guys. Glad to have you here, Stacy. We missed you for the last few weeks.
Sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
And he's welcome here again. Welcome addition. Guys, well, let's get into it. Week 3 review. How you guys feeling about it?
So. I mean, I think Jones played well. He did all he could. I thought that he was really good under pressure. Made plays with his legs. I kind of wish he would run more. Yeah. But the offensive line just did not play good enough, I think. And they really left some plays on the field. A couple of the sacks Neal gave up, there were some wide open, receivers downfield. So, defensively, I thought they played well, but, some key mistakes caused some big plays. So, lost a close game, but, the Cowboys are a good team, and, it's going to be 2-1 at least.
Did you make a bet with Paul too?
No.
All right, Stacey, how'd you feel about the
game? It was heartbreaking, but like you said, Daniel, he did his thing. If you don't have enough time in the pocket, what are you supposed to do? You got to run. So, but all in all,
I was very confused that Darius Slayton wasn't used more, and that that was a big surprise. Like, he didn't get any snaps at all. And with the performance of how Shepard and Galladay were playing, I don't realize why he wasn't in. The defense was bend, don't break for a lot of it, but when your team goes 3 and out 4 times in a row, it's hard to really, it's hard to really build momentum.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to comment on that also is that, like I said, like for Galladay, the effort was there for the receiving core. I mean, that drop by Shep was huge. Jones made a really good play, but he dropped that ball. And then you had the penalty, which took away the Galladay catch that they had.
That was a BS call.
And I get why they called it, but I think he saw him at the last minute. I think it's because he jumped. I think if he didn't jump, maybe they wouldn't have called it. But the killer was the Kenny Galladay drop. I mean,
yeah.
But the effort was there for him. It was there. But the receiving core is like down to nothing right now.
We have
is it 9:05, kids? Is it 9:05?
Yeah, it's 9:05. We're there, right?
Hey, Evan, what's up, man? How you been, my friend? Cowboy Dave here. Just want to see how you're feeling, man. I hope you had a good week and all. Hope things are going well for you. Oh, by the way, Evan, how was your Monday night? Did it go okay for you? Tough loss, man. Giants did what? You thought the Giants were going to do what to the boys? Guess what? Didn't happen. Not going to happen. All right, sir. Hope you're having a great week. And Enjoy your night, my friend. And by the way, how about them Cowboys? Evan, have a great day, my friend. Take care. Cowboy Dave signing off. See ya.
So I'm guessing the third one's going to come in about 5 minutes. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. My week's been well. Still tied for we're still tied 2-1, 2-1, and we got to meet you in Thanksgiving. So I think by then it's gonna be a really good game. But
Most definitely.
what were you saying about the Galladay momentum? I'm going to continue in that one.
What was that?
What about? Say that again.
Yeah, you were talking about Galladay going into the wide receiver.
Yeah, I think the effort was there for him. I will say that. I think honestly, I think he should be playing, even though he hasn't done well or maybe not fit the offense. But he's got to be out there. But for Slayton, I think Slayton should be in over Sills. I think it should be Galladay, Slayton, and James. That should be the top three, and Sills should be the 4 or 5. But they got to sign a wide receiver. The wide receiver core, they got no real number one, and it's killing them.
Well, I believe what I was saying was Hart and Galladay. He really wanted it. He took his routes very seriously, and I seen that. But rule 101 as a wide receiver: get control of the ball, then run off the ball. That's your main point of your job. Get the ball and run the field. And he had the dude on skate. He had the first down.
Yep.
Now I believe he should be number 1. He has to be out there for it. Darius Slayton should have been in the slot. I don't think Shep should have been out there. This dude tore his ACL jogging. I understand if he did a hard route, messed up on the turf. He was jogging and tore his ACL. Get him out of here. He's I'm done. He has to go. At the end of the season, cut him, trade him. I don't care. He tore his ACL like a dog. And I understand Odell came out and was well, turf is horrible. I agree. We talked about the turf, me and Stacy. We've talked about how bad it is.
I was surprised it was actually on the agenda for today as well.
But just to jogging, you weren't even on a full sprint, and you're just
and it was out. What I didn't even see what he did. He was just going.
He was jogging slow, and his leg gave out. That's a contact.
Yep.
So I agree. Give Darius Slayton a little bit more time this week. He's a deep route guy. Let him be a burner. What do you guys say? What do you think what they could have did better in this game besides the wide receiving core?
Offensive line, obviously.
Yeah.
I thought they could have run the ball more with Saquon. After that touchdown he scored, I would have committed to the run more. I think that since the wide receivers were struggling, you got to go through Barkley. Just like week 1 when they went through Barkley, just like the second half you have to go through him, and I think they didn't do enough of that at all. And it's unfortunate. Slate was wide open on a play where Neal gave up a sack. He was wide open, and that's what you got to do, send him deep, and that's why he's got to play more.
I was really disappointed.
Experience.
I was disappointed in the guard play. Glowinski getting bull rushed. Dude, you're a veteran and you're getting knocked on your ass and you're not paying attention. And that wasn't everybody was trying to blame Evan Neal because he pushed him into him. Evan Neal did a right job. He got him out the way. That's when you're supposed to come in with a double team. Mm-hmm. And all you did was fall flat on your back. Yep. What I thought they should have did was besides we got breaking news again.
Is this okay on the this gesture?
And you already know who this is, Tower Power from them 215 boys. I was just curious. I don't know if you watched the game Monday night. Somebody came out with a W, and I don't think it was your Giants. It was those Cowboys. How about those Cowboys?
How about them cowgirls?
Thank you. Thank you for correcting him. Thank you, Dan. I like you already. Thank you.
I'm guessing the next one's going to be Paulie himself. Okay, I'm prepared for it. I see how this train's going.
Is it
like I was
every
saying,
5 minutes, like the whole night, or
this one's
One
going to
more.
be Paul in 5 minutes. Like I was saying, I thought what they should have did was go off with the weak offensive line and using Saquon more efficiently. A lot more screen passes, a lot more let the offense bull rush in and think they got you, and throw a little dump pass and let him go downfield because it worked a few times in the second half and they weren't catching on to it. But
Yeah,
yet
that's
they
the
were
thing.
still, and you can't run drag routes all game. There was not one deep pass down the field.
Well, also remember, a lot of the times he got sacked, hurried 25 times. He got sacked 6 times. So if you think about that, you can't really throw downfield when that's happening. Like I mentioned, Slate was wide open down the field, deep, and Neal gave up a sack. Another play, James was wide open on like a corner route. He got set. Neal gave up a sack. So they left a lot of plays on the field because of the poor offensive line play, and that's something they need to somehow fix, or at least mitigate how many times Jones is getting pressure, because you can't have that.
What about you, Stacey? What do you think they could have did that
no,
was
I definitely agree. Like, sorry. Hold on 1 second. I gotta
You're
mute myself here real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, like the offensive line has to play better. I think Jones played fine. He could build off of this. I think he needs to use his legs more too, because he was very effective and smart and responsible, and that's what you want to see from Jones. You want to see him not turn the ball over, make plays under pressure, not make stupid stuff. He was very smart with the ball, and that's what I really liked about Jones's play.
It was one of his best games considering how bad it was. With the ball, he had no turnovers besides the last minute pick. And
So
like Sills, he slipped. I understand. I didn't think it was a catch at first, but give it to Diggs. He got his hand under the ball, and it was very good. What really got me mad that was we gave up as soon as we got the lead. Tay Crowder did not wrap up on that. Was it fourth and goal or third and goal?
well, yeah.
Hey,
Also, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying hi to our fan. Go ahead.
Yeah, basically that there was, remember the Pollard run, the 40-yard
Yeah.
run Pollard had. Calitro was supposed to play a gap, right? He's supposed to play a gap, but what he does is he attacks the wrong gap and doesn't do his job. And Dexter Lawrence was there to make the play. And he ran right into Lawrence, and Pollard just made a cut left and was gone. And Calitro is horrible linebacker. All you gotta do is play assignment football, and that what run would have happened. All you gotta do is wrap up, and that doesn't happen maybe. But players do that in the NFL. These days, they shoulder tackle. They throw a shoulder. They don't play fundamental tackling.
I agree. I believe like another thing too is they gave up a lot of stupid routes. There was like Darnay Holmes didn't cover a lot. I still
Yep.
liked how Dane Belton played. Belton played really well. Aaron Robinson looked a little slow out there, but coming off appendicitis, I can't really blame him. Like I don't think he was
He was
all the way healthy.
questionable up until that day, wasn't he? To
Um,
play.
Yeah, all the way up to that day. He was expected to play. I didn't like that they said Aziz and Kayvon were good to go, and they only played like 15 to 20 snaps. They were not in there the entire.
Yeah, it
Right.
tells me they're not in football shape.
That's not ready to go. I don't care. Like, why make him a debut and put him in there for 15 plays? In the 15
Doesn't make
plays, he didn't
sense.
do nothing. Like they got a little bit more pressure on it, but it's not enough.
Mike.
We need 4 quarters of that. We don't need 15 plays.
I agree. They had no pressure whatsoever, and I think I don't think they're in game shape because it was their first start. I think that's why they kind of limited them. But I thought on some plays where they needed to be on the field, they weren't. but I understand why. And this week you should see them play way more. They got to be playing most of the snaps. They got to either put them on, put them with a hand down or stand them up. I think they got to be in there regardless. But let's hope they get the pressure because they didn't hit Cooper Rush once, really, and they didn't sack him once, and that's a problem. And like you
Yes.
said, some of the plays they gave up, that Hender shot play was wide open. Nobody there. I can't tell if it was a call or if it was a mistake because Wick Martindale got burned a couple of times by the Cowboys, by some of the calls that he made in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, what's up, Ev? It's your boy Paul from the 215 Boys. It's every Wednesday night, 9:30. So listen, man, look. I know Monday night came and gone, but there was a game on Monday night. You came on my show and ran your mouth and said the Giants was going to win. You said you wanted 3 minutes on my show. I said, make it 5. But you know it's not going to happen. So, man, listen. Just want to give you a great shout out, man, to your wonderful New York Giants. See, here at the Cowboy Nation, foundation here, we represent our boys. But see, I got to go to a Halloween party night, even though it's, early Halloween. So, look what I'm wearing. That's right, I'm wearing a Giants jersey. It's Halloween. I definitely will win first prize tonight for the biggest clown costume. But brother, from me to you, how about them Cowboys, Ev?
Kind of expected that. It's good.
You knew that was coming. You called
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think clown organization, though, man. From an organization that has been nothing for the last 25, 30 years. I wouldn't say clown organization.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather, 10 years of shit, done nothing. That's all well and good.
I know, but it's not 25.
Two Super Bowls, 3 appearances since 2000. And your team hasn't even made an NFC Championship game. So, yeah. So, hey, I can come back. Defense. Dan said that Gates will be coming off of the PUP list. That's right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, but in about a week he'll be coming off the PUP list, which is a good for him. I know he probably won't play for another 3 weeks or at least, but if they can get him back at some point, that would be a help. I put him right at center. That's where I put him.
So you would put Feliciano out, or you would put him switching to
Feliciano at guard. If Glowinski struggles and continues to struggle, I don't think you should leave him in there. I don't know.
That's why I really want to get your attention on with Matt Pert also coming back within the next month or so. I think he would be a real surprise at right guard. Him and Neal, they're both 6'6" or and over, really big guys. I think, and he's really good at run blocking too, and he's been improving on the pass block. I want to see him on the right side. I think if Shane Lemieux can come back, I know he's coming back soon. He had a toe injury. I think you split time between him, Eduzue, and Feliciano, and even Glowinski. Keep that left side healthy and a little bit more energetic. I don't care if you got to sub out 4 guys at a time. Keep them energized and up. They can't play every down. They're not. I don't think those are the guys that can play every down, but you can sub them in. And we had a lot of success with that a couple years ago when they were rotating guys in and out at right guard, left guard every game. And it showed we actually had some of our pretty decent offensive line games.
Yeah, but you have to realize that you want some camaraderie between some guys. I mean, Parrott, I would try a guard. He may not be able to play tackle, but I think he could play guard. He's pretty athletic, and it would be nice to get him back and get some depth because their offensive line gave up so many pressures. I've never seen Jones get pressured that much in a game his whole career.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. He was running for his life half the time.
Well, I'll give it to the Cowboys. The Cowboys have one good thing, and they've had it the last 5 years. I hate on DeMarcus Lawrence. I can't stand the dude. I think he's a horrible character. But they always do the same thing every year with him. They put him on the weakest offensive lineman, and now they have Michael Parsons. I think Andrew Thomas handled Michael Parsons a lot better than a lot of the people in the league. He only let up, I think, one pressure with Michael Parsons. And Michael Parsons, and even though he did have flu-like symptoms, I don't know if that's true or not. But
yeah, I remember I live in the Dallas cowgirl town area, and that was all over the news over here.
And I heard that I said, and I told Paul, I said, if they're going to beat the Giants and they're going to get pressure, they're going to put him on the rookie. They're going to put D-Law on the rookie. They're going to have to, and that's what they did. And I said to Paul in the chat, I said, they're putting D-Law on his rookie, and look what happened. He got 2 sacks.
Yeah, it's like the thing. I knew it was going to be him too. He hadn't really played up to what he usually does the first 2 or 3 couple of games, but I knew it was going to be him that killed us. For some reason, I had this feeling DeMarcus Lawrence go out and get 2 or 3 sacks, and that's what happened. I thought overall they did a good job with Parsons, besides a couple of plays. I mean, but Neal really struggled bad, and Glowinski struggled like that side. But Neal's will get better. I mean, it happened to Andrew Thomas last year. The same thing happened to him in the first Dallas game. I mean, he had a real hard time. He had like one of his worst games, and then last year versus the Bears, he had one of his best games. But it'll get better. It's unacceptable how the O-line played.
Yeah, it was rough.
Another big missing piece I thought was Leonard. I thought they really missed him this week and plugging up that hole in the center. Leonard Williams, I think he has a knee problem right now. It's not. I think it's a strain. He'll be out for another couple weeks, but they really missed him because where do they run the ball? Directly up that 2 gap. The 1 and 2 gap right beside the center, right where he would be. And Dexter Lawrence can't do it all by himself. I seen him get arms on them, but he was getting double teamed as soon as they ran up that middle. So I don't put it on Dexter Lawrence. He tried his best. You can't do nothing when you're double teamed. Something I did, I did enjoy watching through the defensive line was them jumping the line, trying to get swat down balls and stuff. I thought that was a big improvement. It shows that their defense is learning, and they almost had a few passes batted down. I believe they had 1 or 2 that were batted down.
Thibodeau batted a pass. He tipped one as well. But not enough pressure by them at all. And that's something they're going to have to figure out, some way. But give credit to the Dallas offensive line. They played really well. Smith played a really good game. Like that rookie they have, he's impressive. So you got to give them credit. But at the same time, I don't think Thibodeau or Jolari were where they want to be.
They besides
game shape wise.
Besides the Tampa Bay game, Dallas hasn't versed a good pass rush yet. So we don't really know how they play. And the Giants, I'm not going to say it's a good pass rush. They have potential to be. But when your 2 best pass rushers are out for 75% of the game, you can't really be tested. And I said this to Paul the other night. I said, the Dallas defensive line has played not 1, not 2, but 3 either hurt or very bad offensive lines. Tampa Bay has a lot of injuries on that line. They're like on their 3rd center and their 2nd guards. So that's a real problem. Everybody knows the Bengals' woes with their defensive line or offensive line. And the Giants who've struggled for the last 5-6 years, which is getting better. I will admit it is getting better finally.
Slightly.
But
there's a pocket at least. But go ahead.
I agree. But it's improving. We need to see them against a competent offensive line and see if they continue to do it.
Yeah, I mean they need to face like a really good team. I don't think Dallas is a bad team. 2-1 is a solid record, but you don't really know who you are until like week 6, 7, 8, like mid-season, to really tell where any team really is. Because some teams will do well and fall off. Some teams will play like crap, and then all of a sudden they'll win like 5 in a row.
I'm just glad we're not 0-3
for once.
Thank you. That's what I'm just glad we're not 0-3.
It's not over with by like it's week 4.
I know, but you know what?
I'm not watching it anymore.
Exactly.
The thing that was getting tiring for me was the Parsons comparison to LT.
Oh, he's not
Stop.
LT, but he's
Oh,
good.
Stop.
He's
I
not
know
he
LT,
is,
but
but he's no LT.
Parsons is a great football player. He runs a 4.3, which is absolutely ridiculous. But maybe at the end of his career, if he has more sacks than LT, has a better career, then I think you could talk. But he's a real good player.
you
You
can't
can't
say
take
that
his
though, because
talent. I know what you're saying.
to compare to LT was the last defensive player to win MVP. Like, and that hasn't been done since '86. And
Yep.
the amount of times he changed the game, and he only played 12 years, 12 seasons. He only played, and considering when I watched the documentary and what he said about, he's like, I only played at 75% because I was on so many drugs most of my years. And to be honest with you, he said that he's like, for me fooling around doing what I was doing with the crack cocaine and whatever else he can get his hands on, spending $10,000 on prostitutes a week or even more. He's like, I only played at 75%. The 1 year he was fully sober and never messed up was the year they won the Super Bowl, his first Super Bowl, and he won the Defensive Player of the Year. Imagine if he actually had his act together. Not one person has come into this league. I don't care if that 2000 Ravens defense was good, but there was multiple people in that defense. It wasn't just Ray Lewis.
Right.
Every great defense that's come after that has had multiple people. He had a good defensive line, yeah, but it was mostly just a linebacker core. That linebacker core carried that team. In Carl Banks,
Harry Carson.
Harry
Yeah,
Carson,
a bunch of people. Yep.
and they ran that defense. And there's never been a dominant defense since that. I would think that was that dominant because if you look at the 2000 Ravens, yeah, they were good, but they even struggled with was it Denver? They struggled with, and they came out barely. Ray Lewis was never close to LT.
Yeah, I agree with that. LT was a one of a kind player, and I don't like to make comparisons because the '80s were much rougher, much more physical. Even though it's physical today, it was just different back then.
I'll tell you one thing: the one hit I love watching, and it's so gruesome, and it's not the Theismann hit; it's the Joe Montana hit to knock him out. They planted his face in that turf.
The one from behind where you hit in the back.
Yeah, it wasn't an LT hit; it was defensive lineman. I forget his name, but he planted him, and I was like, that's what football was. Yeah, I've never seen LT get run over. I've seen Brandon Jacobs myself play the Ravens and put Ray Lewis on his ass. Yeah. That never happened in LT. Like, Ray Lewis was good. It kind of like reminds me of Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu put hits on guys that were smaller and thinner than him.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Hines Ward. Hines Ward was a notorious cheap shot, leading with the helmet and everything. So this is like, I don't see nobody who compares to LT. The closest I will put is Reggie White. That's the only closest I will put to him. So I really don't like the comparison. Anytime there's a linebacker to come along, because they did it with Khalil Mack, they did it with DeMarcus Ware at one time. They want a Cowboy to be the best at something.
Well, yeah, but they're going to do that. The media is going to do that, and that's just what they do. They want a story. Some people are going to have that opinion, and some people are going to say, DJ sucks and did have a good game. He only had 170 something yards, and on. No matter what it might be, so you have to expect that from them.
Well, going into that, I want to go into. We talked about the offensive woes. We talked about the defensive woes. I really want to go into Danny's performance, just as his point of view. They could not stop him running. They were so worried about him passing. He was getting 10, 11 yards a carry, and I think he had 70 yards carrying. He just couldn't go side to side. He was more open about worrying about that pass. And we talked about last week that we wish that he would look for the pass more. This week, we wish he would have went for the run more. I think we got to find that good medium balance.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that he was good under pressure. He did there were some, like I said before, there were some plays under pressure where he was smart, made a guy miss, and made a throw. So a couple of them were drops. One of them got called back, unfortunately. But I thought like I said, he was smart with the football. If he has a couple of those catches, he has a really good game. If Neal, if they don't give him as many sacks, maybe he completes some of those bigger passes. And I think that Jones just needs to build upon this performance. I don't think he played great. He didn't play amazing, but he played smart, responsible football. That's what you want from your quarterback. That's all I can really ask for, getting pressure as much as he did. Um, so, I really like how he played.
Yeah, when he had to take a sack, he took a sack. He didn't try to do anything fancy, or he just tucked the ball and took it.
And he hasn't turned it over and fumbled it like he usually did in the past.
Right.
When he's
Right.
getting sacked, he's not letting go of the ball. This gets hit from behind. But this game, he was very responsible, protected the ball even when it got destroyed on a lot of plays.
Right. And it kills me because these people who hate on him, he got sacked this many times. Well, how's that his fault?
Not this time. Usually it
Yeah.
would be his fault, but I think that it's from the past 2 years of not being good at all. The offense has not been good at all. So everyone has a negative aspect, a negative view. But me, I'm a type of fan, it's the past. I know it was ugly, but I got to think about this year and the future, not dwell on what happened last year. But it's good to have a fresh start. It seems like the coaching staff really is moving Jones along the way we want, but let's hope this week he could do better.
Yeah.
I think my thing with Jones is, and what everybody hates on him for, is that they saw teams that got a quarterback, and their main problem was the quarterback position. Like when we got Daniel Jones, the quarterback wasn't the only position that we needed, and they didn't understand that. So we got a quarterback that was available. I don't think it was a right year to get a quarterback. Quarterback class was extremely weak. I didn't like the pick. I really didn't. But I also wanted Drew Lock. I thought Drew Lock would fit the system better. And I'll admit that. I'm a big guy. I'll admit that. I didn't want Dwayne Haskins either. But I thought he would be the best one for it. The problem I had with that was, like I said, when we got rid of Eli and we knew it was time to move on for Eli, you knew that wasn't the only problem there. It wasn't the only problem. We had defensive problems. We still had no pass. We had all over the team. So when you see Justin Herbert come in, and it was Phillip Rivers who was the problem, and he comes in and balls out. Or you have somebody like Alex Smith who was on a good team but couldn't get the job done, and Mahomes comes in and balls out. Or you have all these Baker. Baker had a good team coming in. He comes in and balls out, wins 7 of 8 games. They expected that from Jones when we didn't have the infrastructure to build around him. We knew we were going to build around him, but we didn't build around him fast enough that would satisfy fans.
Yeah, I just want to answer Paul's question real quick. Yeah, it's definitely above expectation for sure. I did not expect it to be 2-1, and like I said, it's better to be afloat in the division and in the race, at week 4, where if they could be 3-1, I'd be ecstatic. But absolutely, I mean, I thought they'd be 1-2, but beating Tennessee, which is they play bad, but they're still a better team than the Giants. And I like the way they stuck the wins out. But yeah, it's definitely above expectations. What do you think, Evan?
I really do think that it's a big improvement. You start off 2-0, first of all. It was a very good improvement. I like the fight the team has. They don't, if they're down going into halftime, they don't quit. They try to come back. We were tied with both Carolina and the Cowboys going into halftime, and we come out and we try to get some points, and that's what matters. We were down with Tennessee, and we fought back, and that's what I like in this team is that they have a lot of fight in them. My expectations, like I said it before when I gave my first 6 weeks. I said the best 4-2. I said the worst I think 2-4 or 1-5. I could say. So I gave a range of what I expected was I think 3-3 going into week 6. So that was my pre-guess, but I said the best case 4-2 going into week 6.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm just glad we're not 0-3.
Yeah, exactly. For once.
Yes.
And it really took a lot of people by surprise. Everybody, I've seen on Twitter because, we do have the Big Blue podcast on Twitter. I've been looking at people who are like, yeah, but it's the Giants, and that's what really gets me off because from the 2000s to 2011, the Giants were a competitor almost every year. People forget the NFC East, the lowest team was 7-9. So it was a battleground every year. And I think to this day, nobody's won for the last I think 20 years. Nobody's won the division back to back.
No, that's the way the division is. You just never know.
And you have the NFC least. I hated that name. I'm like, you're talking about the best division in football. I don't care what anybody says. There's no division that's ever near us because we're the most competitive division there is. And I'll stand by it. And I'll say that with the Cowboys, with the Reds. I'm sorry, the Commanders. Whew,
Yeah.
the command,
Ooh.
I don't call them that. I call
Bad.
them by their old names still.
Me
the
too.
Commanders,
All the time.
Eagles. How much I hate them. Their best rivalry in football. The Eagles Giants is the second oldest rivalry in football. Um, Cowboys match up with Eagles and the Giants very well. And back in the day, the Washington was one of their biggest rivals too. Cowboys and Indians. So I respect. I may not like them as a team, but I respect them as a rival because they bring out the best team possible. And listen, I may have lost a bet, but it was all fun. I loved it. You know what I mean? You take it, you can. It's all long, fun games.
Yeah, it's good to see the division good again. It's always more fun when most of the teams in the division are competitive. And it seems so far like the Giants, the Eagles, and the Cowboys so far are, but I don't think that I think being 2-1 with the holes they have is an accomplishment, and I think it's because of the coaching and their mindset. They're just tough and gritty. And it's nice to see that, and every game's been by a possession.
I agree. I think the coaching has definitely helped because they're not afraid to try to do the hard like the going for two instead of the field goal to actually win the game instead of tying. Like that was pretty ballsy. And I like Wink. He, like he says, they're a positionless team, so he wants them all to be able to play each and every basically position. So
Yeah, I
I
agree.
like the difference in the coaching.
I did see they picked up a wide receiver from Texas A&M for a practice squad.
What's his name?
I didn't get a name of him. That's the problem. I literally just seen it like maybe an hour ago. But maybe we may have another guy for a practice squad, just be elevated for the game. He looks small though. He looks like Wandell Robinson a little bit, kind of like that slot. So hey, they could find a gem maybe. But I really want. I just want what's really going to help this team. Like when I meant going deep, there was a lot of one-on-ones with Galladay. Galladay's tall. Let him go up for the ball.
Yeah, throw it.
Let him don't throw to Shepard, in the corner and end up getting picked. Throw it to Galladay. Let him go up for that ball on a fade. Like throw it to the corner of the end zone. Let him go up for it. Let him make a play because that's what he did with Stafford.
Yep.
He was a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah, what I would do is try to feed Kenny Galladay the ball. Give DJ some confidence throwing to him. Give him a little bit of just easy stuff. Just pitch and catch so they can get in kind of a rhythm. Because I don't think he has any rhythm with Galladay whatsoever. And Jones being out the rest of the year, you can really build that rapport. And but I think they need to throw him the ball more. It's the only way he's going to get out of his rut is if DJ throws him the ball more. And you think about it, on that Texas A&M receiver, they need a slot receiver. Shep is gone, so they'll have a slot guy. Robinson's out, Tony's out. So
yeah, I agree. Wide receivers, I didn't think wide receivers were going to be a problem coming into this season. I really didn't. But like Wandell Robinson, I'll give a pass to because he's a rookie. Sometimes coming to a new team and working as hard as you work, maybe you do get hurt. But Kadarius Toney, why are you hurt every week?
Yeah.
You've been nursing this hamstring since before training camp, the OTAs. Like, either
Why
go
are
get
they
checked
even
out.
playing? It's like
He's good. The next week he's not. But he played 4 downs. Like, how are you hurt in 4 downs?
right. It's a turf.
It's another. I think it's more of a conditioning problem than anything. I agree. I think by the end of the year, if injuries continue the way they are, I think turf
They
is going
got
to be
to
on.
do something.
They have to.
Exactly.
But
They
I
really
agree.
do.
Daniel Jones. With the thing with Galladay, I'll agree. He needs to build confidence with Jones. But if you look at the plays he ran in Detroit, if he ran a drag route, it was a wide. I thought it was Texas A&M, but it's the same color scheme, so I may have got mistaken. Malik Polk from Mississippi State. Okay, Mississippi. All right, gotcha. That's who we picked up. I wasn't sure. It looked like Texas A&M colors. I know they share the same color palette,
What was
so that
that?
was my
What was his name?
Makai Polk.
Makai.
I wonder if it's the guy that Corral threw to. He went there.
It could be. I think. Well, you talk about Mackerel. He went to Ole
He
Miss.
went to Ole Miss. It's Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi State. I think he was talking about Mississippi
Okay.
State.
Oh, I thought you said Mississippi. All right.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the plays that he ran with Detroit, he ran a wide, curl route, not curl routes, drag routes. He's not really good just going across right on these quick drag routes. I'd put him on a streak route and stop with these cutbacks. These cutbacks are not his thing. He's too slow in the cutbacks, and going off of it, he really does not show speed coming back for the ball and willingness to come back for the ball. So I don't think that's his bread and butter. You stop with the plays for him with that. Get him some more routes that he's more comfortable with.
Yeah, I agree with that. With DJ is like I said, to wrap up the DJ, how he played. I think he just needs to build off of this week and hopefully get some more protection this week coming up versus the Bears.
Agreed. He
All right.
needs it.
All right, let's move into the Bears now. I think
Go Bears.
The key to winning this game is to run Saquon. Run Saquon, bounce him to the outside. This is where last week's game plan would do a lot better, but I want to see some shots down the field. I'm a big guy for it. I love it. I want to see some deep passes. He's got the arm for it. He's got the good deep ball accuracy for it. Let him go to Darius Slayton with the ball.
Yeah, I think they need to be more aggressive with their offense, but that's what I said. You got to hope the O-line does better, and their pass rush is not as good like the Cowboys is, so maybe it'll be an easier week for Neil to have a better game and for the interior guys to have a better game and give DJ time. But I agree with Saquon. You got to run Saquon. I mean, he's your best player on offense. I would throw to him in the flat, do screens. The screens will work if they can get that screen game down. That could be deadly with Barkley. And versus the Bears, you want to make sure you can get Barkley going. And get this offense going. So I hope they play well.
Agreed. They need to get Barkley going and going early.
See, well, my fear is, I don't like playing a team that already injured your player, and him coming off that ACL. I don't like, running a ball against a team that, let's be honest, he gave up on that play, and the dude still fucking pushed him 5 yards and put all his weight down on his legs. And you're not supposed to do that. If he's already on his way out of bounds, don't push your pressure on people because that dude snapped his ACL. Let's be honest.
It's a weird play how he got hurt. Kind of did like a jump cut. It was just really weird how Barkley got hurt, but I think he'll be fine. I think Barkley's very confident right now. He looks perfectly healthy. He looks almost back to his old self. But like I said, you got to run the ball more with him.
I think besides Barkley, the key to winning this is going to be Bellinger. I think Daniel Bellinger is going to be. Actually, he showed really good hands, and I'll admit that his hands on one of the first downs Jones put it right between two Dallas defenders, and he grabbed it. And, it was right in his chest. He went down with it, first down. I want to see what he can do a little bit on more post routes. I want to see what he can do going towards the sideline and from the middle of the field to the sideline. I want to see how he matches up against safeties instead of linebackers. Because
Yeah,
they're
I
not going to
agree
put
with
real.
that. No, I agree with that. I think, and it could be another weapon. Bellinger could be another guy you could throw to. He's not a bad athlete. He can block. He can catch. I would try to use him more. Um, and they don't have a lot of speed. Speedy linebackers, so I'm trying to get over the middle of the field, and I'm trying to get Slayton the ball deep. Even get Barkley the ball, run him half back angles. Set him on a wheel route. Stuff like that. So, offensively, I think their offensive line needs to be better. And if their offensive line's better, I think their offense will be all right. I really like the play calling by Kafka. But that's really the key, I think, is the offensive line. If they can play well, their offense will play well.
So how do you think will Cordell Flott being out, the rookie cornerback? Kayvon, I don't know if he's going to play. He should be a little bit better this week. How do you think the defense is going to stack up, and what's the game plan for the defense?
I think the game plan, knowing that Fields does not throw the ball a lot, I want to make him one-dimensional. I don't want to give him. I want to put pressure on him, but with him, you got to contain him because he could run better than any quarterback we faced, and that's what can kill the Giants. Is if they drop back, into coverage, but stopping the run, I think, is key to beating the Bears. If you could stop their run game and force them to throw the ball, being that they haven't thrown the ball a whole lot, and Fields is not necessarily good at that, that's what I think they really need to do. And you want to also confuse Fields, because I think if you get him to throw the ball a lot, I don't think that's a winning formula for the Bears at all. I think they want to run the ball, and they want to establish the run, and then you could do play action off of that.
What about you, Stacey? What do you think we can do on defense to shut down the Bears?
I agree. We need to shut down the run, and then, like you said, try to make him throw. If he's not comfortable throwing them, make more interceptions. We had a couple chances this week or last week. Sorry, it was still this week. It was Monday, but we had a couple chances, and it was like in and out of hands, and just I guess be more alert.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well,
better play. Oh, good.
I'm sorry. My point was, I think, on defense, what we need to do more efficiently. Shut down the run, but I think Jihad Ward as a QB spy would be something that we would benefit from. Keep him right above the defensive line, and wherever side, because he did a good job containing Henry. When Henry has a good bounce outside the line, he did a good job like lateral. So I want to see how he does as a QB spy. Keep him there, bring up, I would run the 3-4 this week. Just do some 3-4 sets. I think we will benefit by having Jihad Ward as a, I think that's going to really, if he can't run, he's going to be really tempted to throw the ball. And I think Aaron Robinson, Dane Belton, and Adoree Jackson will do very well into getting the receivers.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that you want to have Aziz and Ojulari out there as much as possible. You're really going to have to contain Fields, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that without playing a 3-4. Because Thibodeau is not the fastest guy, but he's athletic, and so is Ojulari. So they really got to really work on containing. And I do like the idea of spying on Fields in case he runs, but Ward can't catch him. So it could be McKinney. McKinney could be the guy trying to get Fields and go after him. I think McKinney is also going to be key versus the run. But I really like the way Adoree Jackson's playing and they're playing. But like I said, you want to make them one-dimensional. I think you want to force them to throw the ball. Force them to do something they're not comfortable with. And I think that could maybe throw Fields off. But what I'm worried about in this game is how athletic Fields is and how he could run. Running quarterback sometimes is dangerous. and in the past that's killed us, and we haven't faced one really this year yet.
All right, we'll see a Paul comment. I think the Bears have an extra safety or linebacker for Jones running, seeing how Dallas took away others. He had 70 yards against Dallas. I think your pressure really is what you're looking at. For them to pressure, they'll have to send 6 or 5.
Quinn.
Well, but Quinn, yeah, I can see that. I think though to beat that is pretty much what that we could have beat the Cowboys with was screen passes to Dak. The problem is Roquan Swift is a very quick, but maybe a fake slant and go over to the middle to Bellinger. Draw them out, draw them linebackers up so that our 5th or 4th option can get behind them. And I think that's really what would win the game.
Well, that's why getting Barkley going is key. They're going to stack the box. Like Paul said, that they're going to stack the box, but I haven't seen them really call a lot of actual run plays for Jones. I think with the threat of Barkley, I run a lot of RPO more. With the threat of Barkley going with the pleasure, but that's why getting run game is important. And they also have Jackson's also a good corner, so you got to watch out for him. I think they Conference have a real good game plan, and make adjustments in this game, which I don't think they really did as well in the Dallas game. So, like I said, the Bears are not bad, but like I said, offensively they're kind of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just hope that we can get some pressure on Fields and make him uncomfortable, and not let him sit back there. No matter who you let sit back there, they're going to kill you if you do that.
But then if you put too much pressure on him, you're, forcing him to run.
Do they still have David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen? They have them both still, right? I thought one of them was injured. I wasn't sure.
Herbert, I think, is their other running back.
Okay. My problem with the offensive for which call is I think Cohen is a beast. I think he's a very outstanding running back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of Bears games, so how much they pass to their running backs. But like I said, they're going to try to establish the run. And I don't think they want to throw the ball 30, 35 times this game. They want to run the ball.
Yeah, well, certainly. Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, Montgomery and Herbert. But like I said, it's a big game, and if they could be 3-1, that would be huge. If they could do that,
Yes.
they could win this game, and I think they have a real good shot to beat the Bears.
It's going to build their confidence for sure.
Yes.
They definitely need it.
Now after the Bears, we have the Packers, correct? That would be the London game. The Packers.
Yeah, because we have another London game on Saturday this week. Who is it? The Seahawks and
Okay.
This is where you start the London games. I'm surprised the Giants actually had one this year. I looked at the schedule. I was like, oh, they play in London this season.
Hey, last time they played in London, they got a win. So let's hope.
I hope so.
We're going to get into the final predictions now. Dan, what do you see our final score being?
I think the offensive line. I think Neil will have a better game this week. I think that I think they're going to win. I think it's going to be close, like a lot of games this year. Every game we play, it's been a possession. I think it's going to be 24-17 Giants. That's what I think. In a close game, I think it's going to be tied in the fourth quarter of this game.
I think.
Go ahead.
My prediction is 21-17 Giants. So,
I'm going to agree with Paul. I think 24-19 or 24-20. I'm going with 24-20, a little bit better for score. I think Giants win. But then again, I can see it being 17-13 also. I can really see it being in the teens again. So
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
the
see it
offense
being
isn't
high
great.
scoring.
I'm gonna go 2017 or 2013. I'm sorry, 2013. I think they win by a touchdown. I think it's gonna be a late touchdown, but I think they do come out with the win. Barkley has another over 100 yards rushing. And I think Daniel is about 150, 200 yards passing. And I think the defense has two takeaways. That's what I'm guessing. Two takeaways at least. Now sacks that can be iffy.
I don't know. I hope Ojolari and Thibodeau have a sack or two. It would be nice to get some quarterbacks and get some pressure, which they haven't really done too much of. The first couple of games, kind of. I mean, Carolina more so, but that's something they really need to work on. This is their pass rush.
Yep.
It should be a good game though. As long as it's a good
Should
game,
be.
competitive. Just I really love to be 3-1.
I would
Me
love
too.
it too. All right. So, out of respect to you, the Cowboys for being a man of your word. The hair clippers are on their way. I'm already about to cut my hair anyway, but I'll let it go back. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I keep my, I do make bets. It is a little fun. I don't like betting money with people, but I do will bet. I'll bet a saying or a bet a line that makes it just fun for everybody. Here at Out of the Box, we are family. It's all well and good. All the videos of them talking trash, they love it. Thanksgiving's gonna be a game. Let me see how
Yep.
we play up to Thanksgiving, and we'll see about running it back for another bet.
Yeah,
So,
maybe Evan will win the bet this time.
oh man, if I win the bet,
Are we
I'm doing
gonna
a
bet
week
on
of
that?
preparation. I may up the stakes and may have to go get a Dallas hat just in case and throw it on for the podcast. I'll see. Let's see how we get to Thanksgiving first.
I'm sure
before
Paul has one you can use.
I'm not in Pennsylvania though, so
The bet should be he has to wear Paul. Paul will have to wear a Giants jersey all week, and you have to wear a Dallas one all week.
entire show versus entire show. I'm not ready
No,
to make
a
that
whole
bet.
week.
Oh
A
no,
whole
Paul
week.
said entire show versus entire show.
I don't know if I can do that.
Ah.
I may make a bet, but I'm not going to risk the entire show.
Yeah.
We could be 12-0 and go into Thanksgiving. I wouldn't make that bet. I wouldn't do that to the fans. I wouldn't do that to Dan and Stacy.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
All right, these are the shows on Out of the Box. And thank you for being here. Every Friday is Big Blue Power Hour.
At
Every
some time.
Tuesday at 10, it will be 215 Fight Club 215. Paul Spencer and Joey Woods talking boxing, UFC, all combat sports. Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Every Wednesday, the Batcave talking your Mets with Ken Fry. Yeah, Mets are doing pretty well right now. They're in a race. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m., College Football Frenzy talking all college football. Who's up? Who's down? What are the upsets for the week? And who's falling? Who's rising? So, Wednesday at 9:30 will be We Them Boys 215, the arch rivals of this show. Every Thursday, you can see my pop, Mike Lauro, at his Locker Room podcast, talking Phillies, Sixers, Eagles, and we don't talk about the Flyers until they're sold. And you know it, Big Blue Power Hour every Friday at 8. Tonight was 9 o'clock. I apologize for that. I live near an air base, and they were doing flyovers all day. So I wanted to make sure you guys had the best product out there in front of you. Saturdays at 8, Ken Fry, Rob Hefner, talking Vegas sports scene, talking your Golden Knights, talking your Raiders, future A's maybe. And Saturday morning at 8 a.m., Out of the Ring podcast with Joey Woods. This guy goes to every wrestling event. He's got him and his son go to some of the best shows, meet some of the best wrestlers out there. Anything wrestling related, talk to this man. And for a word from our sponsors, Jay's Fine Law, aka Big Al. With all your injury needs, Tom Out of the Box sent you. We're family. You can contact him at 1-800-HURT-123 at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120 in Philadelphia, PA. All right, I'm Big Ev.
Danny, go Giants. Take down those Bears. Hopefully we're 3-1. Go Giants.
Stacy, have a good night, guys.
Everybody have a
Have a
good
good-
weekend.